It's rise and shine, beautiful souls. And here we rise to our highest and best, and we shine our inner light, our inner child. Welcome to the Rattle Playhouse, where we believe movement is medicine and issues are in the motherfucking tissues. Let me introduce myself. My name is Dr. Rattle, and here doctor does not mean medical. It means death of the ego and the rebirth of our inner child. And mine is Rattle B. Here he is. And Rattle B just represents truth, that underneath this meat flesh, we are bone, right? And this is a space where we can just be. It's not about being perfect. Clearly, I've already stumbled on my words, but that's okay because I'm human. In a world where Venom likes to, I don't know, make everything look so perfect. This is not about perfection. So, welcome to the ER playground, and ER actually means embodied release. Now, before I channel, I just want to ground myself, and I want to say thank you to all the rattlers who've been moving your body, releasing Venom. And Venom is just energy programming, so to speak. I think that's the easiest way to put it. So if you've been bitten, then maybe this space is for you. Now, so I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful that I don't feel alone when I'm moving my body, because that's what we do here. There's no right, there's no wrong, just move your body. Just like we did when we were young and innocent. And when I say young, I mean inner child young. I mean toddler young. I mean not giving a fuck until we did, right? So, here, just let your inner child be free, however that looks. So anyways, another thing that I'm doing is, this is all mirror work. Right now, yes, I'm looking at the green dot. But when Rattle B is here, we are staring at the mirrors because this is mirror work for me, myself, and I. Yes. And deeper than that is how I connect to source, God, spirit, whomever, whatever it is. There is a spark that created all of this, right? Scientifically, there is an electrical spark that is in our hearts. And I believe that is what started it all. And deeper than that, we are literally in space, floating around. We are walking miracles. And we don't need the 3D world to validate that. You are already divine. Like, fuck, like we are human beings. What a cool just experiment to be a human on Earth, that alone. So anyways, this is welcome to the OR, let me say that again, the ER-OR. And ER is embodied release, just like I'm doing now. There's no script, this is just channeled energy. And the OR is open reflection. Yeah. So, with that being said, man, I watched a couple days ago Ray Charles and James Brown. My partner and I, we went for a walk and we're like, okay, what movie are we going to watch tonight? And it's very hard because we like very different things, but they say opposites attract. So I was like, okay, well, let's watch Ray Charles with Jamie Foxx. And mates, if you haven't seen that movie, I was literally crying because it just hits home for me on So many levels. And maybe this reflection, this mirror, maybe it will align with something that happened in your life. But this is just my own personal reflection. So I didn't know when I first started watching Ray Charles, I thought he was blind. I mean, I thought he was born blind. I didn't know, at least this is how the movie showed it. I didn't know it was something that he kind of caused. And what I mean by that, there's a scene in the movie where he's walking through this, I don't know, like this field, and it looks like he's going across these bushes, and there's this like sap on this branch or tree, or you want to call it, and then he starts rubbing his eyes. But let's back it up. Ray Charles was hanging out with his brother. How many of us have any younger brothers or sisters? I'm the oldest, just saying. And we got in trouble for something that they did. And you're just like, what? I didn't do anything. Venom. So to give you more, give myself more content, Ray was playing with his brother, and his brother was like on this, I don't know, you want to call it like a table, so to speak. And there was this bucket of water, and Ray was telling his younger brother, you shouldn't be up there, get down, mom's gonna get you. Since when do our siblings listen to us, right? And so, unfortunately, his little brother, fell in and drowned. And let's just pause, because one, I don't know if the human body, especially for a child, is meant to see death, or do they even understand death, right? When I was a kid, like I don't know, 4 or 5, I didn't understand death. And it honestly freaked me the fuck out. And so I wouldn't expect, I don't know, Ray looked about 5 or 6, maybe 7. And I wouldn't expect a little kid to understand, one, what to do if you see someone drowning, right? I think the body just goes into that freeze state. How many of us have been there? We just freeze. And so the mom was inside cooking, doing her thing, and the mom, she just knew, the mom instinct. She came out, she ran to the bucket where her child was at, and he was unresponsive. How fucking scary, right? And then the mom kind of looks at at Ray and says, "Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you scream for help?" Wow. Just saying that alone, my body is radiating inside, because, oh my God, how is it the little kid's fault? But can you imagine being that young of an age and having that trauma, that venom bite, seeing your brother drown? God. And so the guilt that Ray felt, he would have images of his brother falling into the water, and then the mom, that constant voice, "Why didn't you do anything?" But did you notice that the mom did not take any accountability for her actions? It's your fault. You should have been watching him. You should have said anything. Whoa, he's a kid. Yeah. So now fast forward. Ray, after the passing, oh God, this was also a really sad scene. They're in the church having the funeral service. The mom is just on the coffin, crying, as the mother should. And then Ray is just he just looks, I feel for him because I've been in a very similar situation, and maybe you have too. But it's like the mom just, it seemed like she just put up a fucking wall, and from her son, and it was just sad. Like the mom wasn't holding Ray, like she was just holding the coffin, and then Ray was just against another human, probably a family member or something, and he was just like, right? And so then, in the forest, what do you want to call it, he starts wiping his eyes, and then he starts to become blind. His vision starts to become very blurry. And as he got older, like his sight went away. And it's just so profound, and even in that moment where I relate, because it's like not necessarily an escape mechanism, but it's almost like a safety net, so to speak. And so I was just really reflecting on God. He really went through it. And let me jump to a personal story of mine. I was in high school. No, I wasn't in high school. I was in elementary school. Middle school? No, hold on. Going back in time. I think I was in 6th grade. And I did not like my brothers and sisters in my room. I couldn't stand it. And so my brother, Carter, he was obsessed with Spider-Man. And he had the little web shooters, and like Spider-Man was his life. Fair. My sister, my sister really liked Sailor Moon, Care Bears, the Bratz. And so anyway, they were in my room, and they shouldn't have been in my room. And we lived in a 2-story house at the time. We were renting. And I got home, and I got in trouble because my brother pushed my sister out of the window. She fell 2 stories. She had to get her spleen removed. And my brother thought, his very words were like, I thought it was Spider-Man. I thought I would be able to catch her. But who got in trouble? I got in trouble. And I'm just like, how am I in trouble? I was at fucking school. Not alone, I told my siblings not to go in my room, but deeper than that, Mom, where were you? So mate, this is the question. Have you ever been blamed for something that you didn't even do? I got blamed, I got punished, I got beat, I had to do exercises, I got kicked in my stomach because my mom couldn't take accountability, so she had to put it on me. It was my fault that my sister got pushed out the window. Really? Okay. Venom, you're good, baby. So yeah, I took the beating, I took it all, and deep in my brain, I'm like, what the fuck did I do to deserve this? So, Ray used poison oak or whatever he put in his eyes. I use movement. I would put on my headphones, let the beating happen, let the pain happen, and then I would put on my headphones and just go to a space. A safe space. And that space is literally feel like I was wrapped around angel wings. I can't describe it. I mean, I can describe it. It's like unconditional love. It's like I was out of my body, so to speak. And so back to Ray Charles, even then they were going through their own issues. And I'm like, fuck, man, it's been around for years where we are bitten by anything, life. And the question is, what do we do with the venom? Do we let it stay in our body, let it rot us, or do we get the venom out? Hence why we don't do choreography here. We don't have time for choreography. We gotta get the venom out. So Ray, he became a heroin addict. He got so addicted to heroin. Again, venom, poison. How many of us have been addicted to something to escape, to numb out? Alcohol, porn, what? It's all like. And so, thank God, I'd rather just move my body than put heroin or poison in my body to numb. Like, I'm not numbing when I do this, I'm releasing. There's a big difference. And deeper than that, I'm connecting within. I'm connecting internal, where the world has disconnected that in so many regards. And Ray had to get help. So in the movie, they show that he had, he went to like a hospital to get help, and he didn't want to get needles because the needles was like PTSD, especially from heroin. Like, they were doing it like, oh my God, like, I don't know how they do it. Fuck that shit, but they're like doing it in the fucking veins. I'm like, what the fuck? Wow. Thank God I dodged that bullet. But I know there are souls on this earth that cope with that type of stuff from trauma. I see you. I get it. So I guess, so in the movie, he's in the hospital, and he has like a vision of like an out-of-body experience where he reconnects with his mother and he connects with his brother. And it was so beautiful. The brother said, "It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault." And the mom, oh, okay, more downloads are coming. Give me a second. Oh, okay. So when Ray became blind, he had to learn how to like touch things and how to learn how to walk. Learn how to walk, but learn how to like feel his environment, so to speak. And there was an incident where he fell and tripped in the house, and his mom was like cleaning the dishes, and she saw him fall, and she just stood there. And like when I was watching that, I was getting so angry. I'm like, go help your son, he fucking fell. And he was like, Mom. How many of us have called for someone and they didn't show up? Yeah. And so he just like lay there on the floor, and he started to use like his senses, and he started to hear like the crickets and like just the frequency and vibration outside, and it was really beautiful to witness. He caught the cricket, and he was like, Mom, I even feel you, Mommy. Something like that. It's like just the vibration. And she just started crying, and I'm just like, whoa. And so, fast forward. In his out-of-body experience, when he reconnected with his loved ones, I believe when we do leave this body, I truly believe we are reconnected with our loved ones. My dad passed, I feel him. And like he's like moving through me as we speak. So anyway, his mom was just basically saying that you're not going to be a crippled. And I think what I reflected from that is, don't let people feel sorry for you because you are blind. You're smart, you're intelligent. And he is. I mean, the way that he would play piano is just so beautiful. And it's like, again, we don't need permission. He didn't ask permission. He just did what his soul felt so called and aligned to do. So anyway, after that, after that out of body experience and connecting with his loved ones, he never did heroin again. And he just continued playing and writing from the soul. And I just thought that was so beautiful. What a powerful reflection. Now, let's slither to James Brown. So after I watched Ray Charles, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, my ass needs to go to bed. But I couldn't stop watching. I was just so in love with the story of these artists or idols that we look up to, and you see that they're just human like you and I. And there was something that vibrated their being where they had to truly let go and express. It's medicine. And so, okay, James Brown, that one really got me. James Brown. Okay, here we go. I know of James Brown, and when I was watching like Michael Jackson, like back in the day, like documentaries of Michael, James Brown was a huge idol. I believe we all have idols, someone that we look up to or aspire. But anyway, Michael Jackson talked about James Brown a lot. So anyway, God, that movie was really triggering for me in so many categories. God, with James, he was in a really abusive, toxic family dynamic. And the scene of the movie is just so wild. Like the mom is chasing James in the forest. And it just took a turn so quickly. The mom and the son got home. The dad came home. And God, what a time that must have been. What a time zone. I couldn't imagine. God. Anyway, and so you can already tell, like, it's one of those relationships that are toxic. And so the mom is in an abusive relationship. How many of us know someone, or maybe it was you or your parents, that were in an abusive, toxic relationship? And so, yeah, they have like this love scene where they're like roughing each other up a little bit. And then they show the scene again. The mom is leaving. She has bruises all over her face. She has a suitcase. And she's like leaving. And so the dad is like walking out behind her, like talking shit, right? Like just saying awful, awful things to her. And then she turns around and she's going to go get James. He's a little kid, right? Most of our trauma happens when we are tiny, little, innocent little kids, unfortunately. Anyway, so she's going to go get James, and Venom obviously did not like that. You're not taking my son. Put him down, bitch. I mean, God. Fuck. And it gets worse. So she puts him down, and I don't even want to talk about this part, but the dad had a weapon, we'll just say that, and pointing the weapon towards her. And as she puts James down, she's walking away, and he makes a sound with the weapon. And I'm like, oh my God, let's just say what it is. Gun, okay? I don't like the word gun, but we'll just say it what it is so it can really hit the soul. A gun. And that rattled my fucking spine. Data. When I was about 6 years old, 6 or 7, my mom had custody, like every other weekend. And if there's any soul that understands what I mean by that, it's like every other weekend you're with your dad or your mom, and it was fucking chaos. And honestly, I loved staying with my dad I did not like staying with my mom because that is where the venom was at. That's where the trauma happened. That's where my mom got beat like a rag doll. That's where I got beat like a rag doll. So fuck no. Why would I want to go back to that? At my dad's house, I was free. Rattle was free. My dad lived deep in the woods, and so I would just be outside barefoot, running in the rain, playing with my action figures. Just my dad was just my angel. And so there was one incident where my mom was late picking me up from Food Lion. God. And so I'm like, yes, I don't have to go. I know this is really bad, but I was really praying that my mom and her boyfriend got in a car accident. I know that's awful, but that's how bad the trauma was. I prayed and prayed something fucking happened to them, please, because I did not want to go back to that. I know that's bad. Forgive me, Lord. Rattle it out. But anyway, and so they were late, and so we went back to my dad's house, and we didn't have cell phones back then. And so this is when we had like to use a phone line, and I'm like, oh, they're not answering. Thank God. And so I think this is when like pagers were around. Oh my God, it's so insane. And so they actually, I don't remember some of the parts. I don't know how we connected, but my mom eventually came to the house where my dad and I were living, and she brought her boyfriend, and I went to go hide. It's like, have you ever seen those scary movies when like someone breaks in your house and the first thing we do is we run upstairs and we go underneath the bed and act like they're gonna fucking find us. And so I'm in my room underneath my bed, and I can hear the yelling. I can hear my dad saying, "You're not coming in my house." And I can hear my mom's boyfriend, "Where is he?" And it was just awful. Again, no kid, no human should ever experience this, but here we are. And so my mom's boyfriend actually breaks the door. And so he's in the house looking for me. My heart's like, I'm like, oh my God. Like, this is the day I'm gonna fucking die. And so he finds me, of course, like, and he grabs me from beneath the bed, pulls me, yanks me by my fucking arm like a rag doll. I'm all dangling through the house, and my dad's like, put my son down. And he didn't. Kept dragging me, yanking me by my hair. Then my dad grabs a gun. Yeah. So we get in the car. My mom's in the car, and I'm just like looking at her with fucking disgust. And in my brain, I'm like, what is this? Like, is this really happening? It is. And so guns were shot, guns were fired. No one got hurt, thank God. But it was like a high-speed chase. And so it really hit home when I saw that James Brown's dad shot a gun, missed the mom on purpose, and hit like a tree or something, but fuck. So that really vibrated my fucking being. And then, so the mom leaves. We're back to James Brown now. And so the son, James, is like this with the stick. The dad is singing, and then James's dad looks at him like, stop doing that with the stick. And then he kept doing it, and he said, stop! And then he picks up James, sits him down, and then he was like, and then James was like asking the dad, can you sing again? And he said, the dad was like, no. And then James started singing, and then pop! How many of us have been hit by our parents? The ones who are supposed to love us and nurture us. But here they are beating on us? Where does that make sense? So James and I, okay, now we're 2 for 2. All right. So James grew up around a lot of toxic violence. Okay. And so fast forward, but when he got hit, there was just something about him that just like violence just like vibrated his being, where he just got so into creating music. And another part that really stuck out to me with James is he's older now, James Brown. And a few things. Equal rights was a thing. And okay, we're gonna get deep here. Yes, there are a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. 100%. But I'm gonna say this with pride. I believe we are making baby steps to make it better. Is it perfect? No, but what is, mates? Like, this violence and this chaos, Venom has been around for fucking decades. Could you imagine being around where blacks and whites were separated? Black schools, white schools, and if there's any biracial couples, good luck with that, because that wasn't allowed. So yeah, we all have our Venom. And honestly, thank God I am in this generation, not then. Because my dad was white. I have, like, what do we do about stuff like that? So I thought that was very, very just mind-boggling, like, wow, equal rights, like that really did happen. Martin Luther King Jr. did get shot. Like, this was the time of James Brown era. So there's always been fucking Venom, unfortunately. So anyway, back to James. So he is at this show playing, and he sees this beautiful woman in the audience. And I thought it was very powerful because after his, I don't want to say performance, after his expression release, let's just say that, he was wrapped around in a towel. And here, this is our rebirth robe, right? Oh, here it is. Mm-hmm. So I thought that was very unique. And like, oh, okay, James, that's 3 for 3 now. Now we're going to 4. So anyway, he sees this girl, they connect, they get married, and so they're getting ready to have like this Christmas thing going on. And the wife, she's very gorgeous. She comes out in like a, sexy Santa suit, because why not? And the kids, they're like kids coming up to get candy or whatnot. And then I don't know if it was, I believe the son's dad was looking at James's wife at her tatas. And James caught that. And so they go back into the house, and she was like, honey, can I get you anything? You just see her fucking flying to the ground. Cover up. What? Let's dissect that real quick. James did not say anything to the man that was staring at his wife, but yet he smacks the living daylights out of her and tells her to cover up. Interesting. Where is the accountability? And let's go deeper. James, I wonder why he didn't say anything before she left the house. Like, didn't he see what she was wearing? But he smacks the fuck out of her to the ground. So that tells me, oh, men have been hitting females for a very long time. Venom has been around here for a very long time. But deeper than that, it's the programming, because that is what James witnessed. He witnessed his mom being smacked around like a rag doll. So yeah, it makes sense on why the Venom's still in his body. Does it make it right? Absolutely not. But the question is, why did he not say anything to the man that was looking at his wife's breast? Makes me wonder. And deeper than that, there was another scene in the movie where James reconnects with his mom and she acts like she doesn't know him at all. Wow. What a bite. And so probably did some damage. I mean, I reckon. And then later on in the movie, his mom comes to one of his shows. He gives her $100. And this is also beautiful though. When the mom leaves, she just talks about her being human. And this is where I really relate, because after all the shit my mom has caused, I forgive her. I love her deeply. Part of that is from rattling out my fucking venom. Not to be perfect, but just to get it out of my body. And so, my mom, we were in court once when my mom was going to lose custody of us. I told the judge what everything that my brothers and sisters have gone through. I told him about the abuse. I told him about the neglect. I told him that we had been starving for weeks and throwing up liquid. I told him everything. And my mom, even after my mom's boyfriend beat her face in, still said, "No, that's not true. And no, he never touched me." What? Are you kidding me? Mom! Look at us. Look at the bruises on us. Who caused it? Of course, the judge didn't believe my mom. My mom lost custody of us. And I was so hurt, mates. Like I believe in the courthouse, I said I hated my mom. And I know that's a really strong, but I did hate her at the time. Because I'm like, how can you sit up here and defend this monster that caused so much pain, that beat you black and blue, but yet here you are defending him? So I get it. When I see the Cassie and Diddy stuff, I get it. So, but I also get my mom is human. My mom was probably doing the best that she could. And when I heard that reflection from James Brown's mom, that she was just doing the best that she knew how, oh, my heart melted. I was like, oh, I get it. It doesn't make us bad. It just makes us human. And I really think it's never about us. So, I thought it was very powerful. And just what James went through, that generation alone. And so that's how I reflected that when I see souls like James Brown, Whitney Houston, Michael, Janet, Brittany, like I relate so deeply, because I feel like we've been through similar trauma. We've been bit by similar things. So yeah, that's my reflection on James Brown and Ray Charles as I burp. So music is my saving grace. And I created a space where we don't need to prove anything, where we can just be. Isn't that nice?